What's up, guys? Hope you're doing well. Warm day in April. I want to talk to you about the process of success and failure and how it actually works, in my opinion, versus what people think it is. So there's this concept that if you do small things over a long period of time, it makes all the difference. This one guy did this study where two planes left Los Angeles, and one of them was pointing 5 degrees north, and the other one was, straight wherever it was going. And the 5-degree variation over the course of the entire continental United States ended up being like a 700-mile or a 600-mile difference when the final destinations were reached. And that 5 degree, if you think about 5 degrees, if you were to look at it just on a protractor, it's about yay big, right? But that yay big over the course of 2,500 nautical miles is 700 or 600 miles variation. Put it simply, if you change your direction, you can entirely change your destination. You do not get to change your destination overnight, but you can change your direction. So what do I mean by that? I read this book, I think this was like one of the earliest, probably one of the first business books I've ever read. It's called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson, and the whole premise, kind of like Atomic Habits, right? It's like the small things you do compound in your favor or against against you. And essentially, it goes to like the little things. Success and failure are slow processes. All right, Rome wasn't built in a day. Rome was built over hundreds of years of people putting together, sacrificing their lives, going against the monarchy, and they built this entire process in one, essentially fighting one enemy at a time. Rome was at conquest for literally centuries, right? That's how they became the empire that the sun didn't set on, supposedly. It took that long for it to be the enlightened city in the world. But it also took hundreds of years for Rome to fall apart. And to the point where they couldn't even defend themselves against a bunch of like barbarians, like people that weren't even sophisticated, right? And they took in and just literally ate their lunch. And how did Rome go from being this fortress, this enlightened thing, to becoming a city that can't even hold its own against barbarians? Because it fell apart internally. And that's actually true for most things in life, including human beings. It's very hard to break a human being that's very tough on the inside. So inside starts with your own opinion and your own voice inside. That's like super deep, right? And then it goes into your habits and your words and your actions. Then it gets into your environment. If your internals are strong, and then your habits are strong, and your environment is strong, and then your impact in the world is strong, it's very difficult that you're going to run into something and it's going to continue. It might completely get you very close to breaking, but it's very, very difficult. Think of yourself as a fortress with many walls. And every time you do something, either you're taking a brick out of those walls or you're putting a brick on those walls. Every action we're making, the smallest of things, every single thing is either for you and against you. There are no neutral things, guys. I'm going to tell you that right now. There's no neutral. Either it's helping you get better or it's tearing you apart slowly. So that's why you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention in this moment right now, because it matters. Every single moment matters. Every single second counts. Either you're building yourself in these seconds or you're tearing yourself apart in these seconds. And you won't know that until you reach, 5 years, 10 years. And guys, look, if you don't believe me, and some of you are old enough for this, just look at people you know. Just do it like a little quick assessment on the people in your life. Like, what has happened to most people in the last 5 or 10 years? If you're old enough, or in 10 years, if you're young, just look at what happens between the age of 25 to 30 or 35 to people, right? Either they're significantly better in those, from 25 to 35, or they're like significantly worse. Like, they were a little overweight, now they're like obese. They were kind of on the wrong trajectory, now they're like destitute. Destitute means like you're basically so poor you can't even help yourself, right? Guys, look, there's no neutral. You're like, they may look like neutral over the course of maybe a few months, even a few years, but when you stretch that time, you see that their actions either compounded for them or they compounded against them. So you gotta pay attention. You gotta pay attention to what you're doing right now. Stop worrying about the next 5, 10, 20 years. Look, you may I may get hit by a car right now and it's all over. So I can't control what happens in 10 years. But what I can control is what I do right now. Either I'm building myself or I'm tearing myself apart. And guys, it comes back to intentionality. Pay attention, be intentional, be aware, be awake. Don't walk through life half asleep thinking things are going to get better. Things will only get better if you pay attention and you get better and you do the things that are necessary, and don't undermine little things. One video a day can change your life. One book every month can change your life. 20 push-ups every single day can change your life, right? One good conversation with somebody every single week can change your life. And you stack these things, you stack them, and it turns into a snowball of success. That's how you arrive. Or you eat a cheeseburger every day, you drink 3 beers every single day, you hang out with a bunch of losers every single day, and that compounds against you, and it creates this black hole that's impossible to fill 20, 30 years later. Most people, by the time they're 60, 50, are so deteriorated internally that they've lost hope, guys. I mean, go outside and look in the eyes of people, man. Most of them have given up. They're like, there's no way I can fix this. And yes, it's very hard to fix 30 years of neglect in 1 year, in 1 month. But even to those people, I say it's never too late. The best time was to start yesterday. The next best time is to start right now. I hope this helps, guys. Love you guys. Appreciate you. See ya.